3DO.
From across the ocean and around the globe, bringing the latest news home to you. War. The Tan War Machine has begun to mobilize in their quest for world domination. In response, our forces have been dispatched to hold our borders secure. Here we see the Tan commander inciting the people with his twisted vision of world domination. Luckily, our researchers have developed new weaponry to counter the Tan menace. To the northern mountains and the western desert, and as far as the southern swamps, our boys stand ready to resist the Tan invasion. Invasion! Tan forces have crossed our border, and the Green response has been swift and dramatic. But things are heating up. These dramatic shots depict the intensity and fury of this contest. The real war is about to begin. Our survival rests on the shoulders of these brave young heroes. With the dawn come our aircraft, bringing paratroopers to reinforce the Green counterstrike. Today the battle is ours. Tomorrow is up to you.
Holy shit, man. That was like my childhood right there. Well, we're gonna go over here so the game doesn't go nuts. This is Army Men 3D. Now, this game is not good. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to defend it. It's just one of my favorite games as a kid, and I thought, what the hell? So, I'll actually tell a little bit of a story here before we get into it, because this is gonna be a very odd Let's Play. I actually got this game when it came out. I remember I went to EB Games in a local mall, and I was so stoked, man. I fucking went there with my dad, and I remember I was just, like, allowed to buy one game maybe, like, every month or so, because you gotta remember, this game, when I bought it, I actually have, like, the jewel case somewhere laying around. It's, like, it was $40, okay? I paid $40 of my parents' money, mind you, to get this game, and it kicked the shit out of me. I never finished this game until I was like 10 years old, and I was like 8 when I got it. I don't know. You can do the math when the game came out to how old I am now. I'm 27. I'm gonna be 28 in a few days, actually. And I got this when it came out, so holy crap, man. This game was a blast as a kid. Now, I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend to say I don't know the story of the Army Men series, because I totally do. It was released by 3DO, who made the infamous 3DO game console, which flopped like a giant turd in a bowl. And of course, they tried their hand at making games. They did have a game studio that made about 300 games, or some ridiculous number of games, in like very short time span. This was their flagship series. Now, I'm not unfamiliar with the series of Army Men either. It was originally released as a top-down isometric style PC game, similar to kind of a mix between like Fallout 1 and 2, and kind of like, I guess Syndicate is a good example, except really bad. But from what I can tell, I actually don't own those games, and they're pretty well liked as far as most people go. But they're pretty okay, and so they decided, let's put all of our games on consoles to get a bigger audience, and they made the Army Man series, which has a fucking ridiculous number of games in it. I actually own all but like 2 of these games. I actually grew up playing all of these games, because they were everywhere. They were at every damn EB Games and like GameStop I went to. And fun story, I actually traded this game along with my copy of Sarge's Heroes 2 for my PS2 copy of Grand Theft Auto 3 when I was like 12. So I have unfortunately got rid of this game, and then I recently purchased it off Amazon a while ago. We are running this on ePSXe. I do have it on a couple of settings, so it looks a bit prettier. It's a lot smoother. I can confirm this game has a very inconsistent frame rate. Especially the other games in the series, which I will eventually get to, hopefully. But like I said, I grew up playing this entire series. I'm no stranger to its bullshit. I recently played through Team Assault, and I've had that game forever since it came out too. To put it in perspective, this is probably the only good Army Man game, and you're probably like, Seth, why are you fucking around so much? Because this game is hard as shit, okay? I'm actually going to show you something here. So, let's see. So there's quite a few levels, and I beat this game a few times as a kid. It was absolutely fucking unbelievable. This game is so hard. And when you're young, you don't know how to exploit the game, you don't know what you're doing. It is brutal. All of the Army Man games are brutal, and they control incredibly awkwardly. That's not to say that they're the worst thing I've ever played. I've played way worse. I recently played Sarge's Heroes 2. I also picked that up a while ago, and I went, holy shit, how did I ever finish this game as a child? So, yeah, trust me, this series is not easy in the slightest. You can pick them up fairly cheaply off of, like, Amazon or eBay. I got all the other ones I was missing. I'm only missing, like, World War, which is the sequel to this game, and I think Air Attack 1. Those are the only games I don't own. I actually rented Air Attack 1 a long-ass time ago. I actually beat it when I was a kid. It was really fun. Air Attack 2 is actually pretty solid. It's not a bad game. And the first game I ever bought for my PS2 with my own money was actually, we just bought our PS2, and the first fucking thing I put money into as a PS2 owner that I still own to this day is my copy of Army Men Green Rogue, and I also picked up Sarge's Heroes 2 when it came out for the PS2. That was my experience with the PS2 when it first came out, and of course, you know, those are not great games. But enough bullshit, let's get into the meat. So, this game is actually technically a remake of Army Men 1, and that's about it from the PC version. You can get those on Steam as well if you're curious. I am using a DualShock controller, and yes, when I played this game back in the day, I did have to use the fucking D-pad, and this game fucking cramps up your hand like a goddamn cramp. I don't know. I don't even have a clever analogy. This game is physically painful to play because of the controls. So, obviously I'm using ePSXe. I'm using my standard PS2 style dual stick controller. Holy shit. Don't play this game without one. It is just... no, don't do it. My voice is still kind of getting better from after having COVID, so if I cough a lot, I'm still kind of in the middle here. But anyways, I'm keeping this shit on fucking normal because this game is already beyond hard, so we're keeping it on normal. I don't actually know what the differences are between the difficulties. If I had to guess, it's probably bullet from enemies. I don't know. We'll get into it as we get there. So, of course, there's audio, there's credits, like 5 people made this fucking game. And before I even go there, what made me buy this game as a kid? Well, the fucking cover art is Sarge melting the shit out of a tan guy with a flamethrower, so that's already badass, okay? But one of my favorite toys of all time is Army Men toys. I grew up having a shitload of them. I actually still have them in my garage. I need to get rid of them. And I have one on my desk next to me, which is why I kind of went, what the fuck? So, I absolutely loved the idea that I could play a game of what I played with. So, it was very novel to me at the time. It still really is. And obviously the franchise is not great. Let's not beat around the bush. But when you're a kid and you have the toy that you love to play with the most, like I used to fucking have tan and green, I had grays, I had astronaut ones, I had the police officer ones, I had like the cowboy ones, you know, I had everything, man. I fucking loved little plastic soldiers. They were like my favorite toy growing up. I never did the shit that people say where they're like, oh, I fucking melted them and I fed them to my dog's asshole or something. No, I never did that because A, why would you break toys, and B, holy shit, dude, my parents would get mad at me if I melted my fucking toys that they spent money on, so I didn't do any of that shit. The only Army Men I lost were to literal combat damage, like they just lose their heads over time of being thrown into walls and shit. So, trust me, the ability to play what you were actually doing as a kid was awesome, and I'm regretting playing this. So, without further ado, let's stop fucking around and get into the first level. We're doing this level by level, by the way. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna do load game. I don't think, there's no point in hitting new game. This game doesn't actually have a save setting. So, everything is unlocked like this, basically. So we're just doing that. So you have 3 types of campaign. They all go sequentially. Bayou. I'm gonna be really fucking honest with you, man. The instruction manual for this game made me so fucking hyped to see the Greys, dude. I remember, I think I have it laying around somewhere in the house. It even says, like, from Sarge's perspective, my dad used to tell me stories about the Greys. They were horror stories. You don't like to like them, but you gotta respect them, or some shit like that. It's fucking, it is so damn cool. And, like, the back page of the, like, manual was like a Green Army guy scrubbing toilets with a toothbrush, like, on his knees. There was so much charm to this series when it started, and unfortunately 3DO milked this tit till it was dry as fuck. So, I don't know how else to explain it to you, but let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll... Oh boy. I'm really, really nervous. So, first things first, we are running this on ePSXe at overclock speed, so I will have to change it to normal at one point, but there's no real dialogue except from Sarge. But oh my god. So, like you can see right now, this is what the game looks like. So, alright, holy shit, the audio didn't work properly for this. This actually happens sometimes in the original version too. So, that stuff is not part of your world. That's just down there. Don't pay attention to it. So, alright, so you can control Sarge here with the D-pad. You can move... This is how the game controls. So you can move forward, backwards, strafe left and right by tank control style, right? So this is something that you have to get used to, okay? Like, this is not a game that you can just pick up and play easily. So, tapping the X button shoots. Circle will allow you to kind of do this. It's really not necessary. Square and triangle will actually cycle through your weapons. And, of course, the shoulder buttons will let you roll. Later games will actually let you, oh, damn it, there's a... One of my desktop displays is showing up, and it's really annoying. So, there we go. You can see in the bottom left, that's why this game was so charming. I was like, I have those guys! So, that's your health bar. Shit gets knocked off so fast, it's not even funny. If you get hit, like, 2 times, you're dead, okay? That's all there is to it. So, rolling is primarily, I mean, pretend this is Dark Souls, okay? You just roll. That's the only effective way of moving away from enemies and stuff. And a couple other things get used by it. There is vehicles, but we'll get to those later. So, this is something everyone says about the Army Man series that is completely wrong. If you load a grenade, they say, oh, you're just stuck in this animation. Tap square. There you go. Problem solved. I've known that shit since I was a child. Get good, okay? So, this is a very useless method of movement, by the way. You can't roll. In other Army Man games, you can roll when you're in this position. It's not really important. The most important thing is just rolling, okay? That's moving around as quickly as you can. And then, of course, the all-important R1 will actually let you aim your rifle a bit better. This is extremely, extremely useful, because this actually gives you vantage points on enemies. Oh man, I'm just regretting playing this. So, there's cover, obviously. Enemies can shoot at it. And let's go ahead and get into it. So the objective of this first mission is just to get to the end of it. It's the literal easiest mission in the game, probably. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, what the fuck is that? Okay, that is a tan soldier. Tan guys are the bad guys, okay? Just shoot them a few times. Most soldiers die in about 2 hits. So, you can see in the desert section, they're very hard to see. And now you're probably like, wow, this game looks really, really easy. I'm not going to demonstrate and allow an enemy to come up to me and shoot me, but you can see how quickly your health gets chipped off. Enemies generally shoot like burst patterns like this. So, this is why I said it is incredibly crucial to learn how to roll, move around. You gotta get in the rhythm, and you can see enemies can get stuck on things, and you can kind of just shoot over cover. So there's really some basic gameplay to it. It's oddly satisfying to play this game, even though it's not very good. Now, another thing that can happen is you can shoot those barrels, they'll explode, the fire particle comes off, and it can melt enemies. It can also melt you, by the way, which is really inconvenient. Pickups are these little boxes like this. They have the item on it, so you just switch over. You can see you have a little meter of how many you can hold. Med packs like these will actually heal you full health. The ones without the white outline on the edge are going to heal you slightly more, or sorry, slightly less. And of course, you get other weapons here and there. Most of them are pretty useless, if I'm honest. The grenade is extremely useful. So it does have a little bit of a bounce. Now, when you're using a grenade, you're pretty much not going to have a huge blast radius. Enemies can just stand right next to a grenade when it explodes, and it just sometimes doesn't kill them. This game is not programmed very well. Now, here's something that has been ingrained in my mind for about, oh, I don't know, 20 years. So, you can see on my left-hand side that little tiny this. That's actually a guy right there. I can't shoot him because for some reason the bullets won't make it that far. And then to the right here where I'm shooting, is another guy. The only reason I know this is not only because the radar shows them, but I have committed this shape to memory. I have played the fucking shit out of this series as a kid, and I know exactly what enemies look like from a distance, and I know exactly how to deal with them from a distance. So, oh boy. So, the general strategy of this game is just don't get hit, talk some shit, okay? So, there is other objectives. This is the very first mission. Of course, it's going to be the easiest. I'll actually demonstrate how grenades work. So, if an enemy doesn't see you, like right now, he's not going to do anything. I can just go, and he's not going to aggro, okay? So, but if I do this, you can see what I mean. Enemies will become alerted, and they will stay in that position and keep shooting until you're... Well, fuck, I thought that was safe. Let's just lob a grenade at him. Oh my god. I'm kind of regretting not doing that now. He should be dead. So yeah, this is the first mission.
Mission complete.
Sarge's voice is so fucking sexy, man. I'll see you guys in the next one where we're gonna start kicking some serious ass. I'll see you then.